Relations between Formula 1 and the FIA have seemingly reached brand new lows after F1 reportedly sent a scathing letter to President of the FIA, Mohammed Ben Sulayem. The letter sent by F1 and the commercial rights owner Liberty Media state that the FIA overstepped the bounds of both the FIA's remit and its contractual rights. As well as this, it states that the FIA may be held liable for any damage that it causes to Liberty Media's value. This comes after the president of the FIA, Mohammed Ben Sulayem, stated once again on Twitter that a rumoured valuation presented to Liberty Media for the F1 rights are an alleged inflated price tag, and that any potential buyer is advised to apply common sense, consider the greater good of the sport, and come with a clear, sustainable plan, not just a lot of money. Finally, adding that it is our duty to consider what the future impact will be for promoters in terms of increased hosting fees and other commercial costs in the event of any such sale. Liberty Media purchased F1 from CVC in late 2016 for $4.4 billion. Since then, Formula 1's popularity has exploded, and the sport has never looked more attractive to potential sponsors and broadcasters. This can be seen by the fact that the British Grand Prix in 2023, for example, is already sold out, and it's sold out in the first week of going on sale. I literally remember buying my grandstand tickets for the British Grand Prix a month before the race itself when I went in 2015, and that shows just how far the sport has come in a relatively short space of time. This is down to Liberty Media's vision of massively increasing the availability of F1 on social media, with more F1 content on YouTube than ever before, and the drivers having a lot more freedom on their own Twitter and Instagram pages. Alongside this, of course, the popular Netflix series Drive to Survive has helped F1 to explode in America, which is something that former F1 president Bernie Ecclestone had always dreamed of for decades. This popularity could be a reason why the value has been so heavily inflated. The people looking to buy the commercial rights from Liberty Media is a Saudi Arabian government public fund, who are increasing their presence in other sports as well as F1, with them creating the LIV Golf Tour, which is currently struggling for TV rights due to the ownership. And also, they are currently looking at purchasing WWE, as Vince McMahon is looking to sell the business due to ongoing sexual assault issues. The issue with the LIV Golf Tour is a legitimate issue which F1 could face in the future should this deal go through, which is another reason, I think personally, for the FIA caution. Now, this is not the first time that F1 and the FIA presidents have butted heads this year alone. Literally just a few weeks ago, I made a video talking about how the FIA president has welcomed a bid from Andretti to join the F1 grid. However, F1 themselves and the F1 teams are very much not sharing that same sentiment, stating that Andretti would be good for F1, but it's not worth devaluing the money that the other teams can make, even if Andretti does pay the entrance fee. Mohammed Ben Sulayem is welcoming the idea of additional F1 teams, but the teams themselves are not impressed. Not only this, but some teams are not particularly happy with the recent changes that the FIA has made to the sporting code, which will limit or even ban certain messages that drivers wish to promote if it has not already been approved by the FIA for them to display, such as messages that drivers like Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel would wear on their shirts before races. There seems to be a growing disconnect between the teams, F1 and the FIA, and this could all boil over this year with threats of teams walking away and leaving the sport, meaning that this could be a very spicy year for F1 off track. Now, is this a new thing that teams just could threaten to walk away and leave the sport? Well, no, it's actually not a new thing. This has happened before, so it's not the first time that this has happened. For newer fans who may not be aware, threats of teams breaking away is not a new thing. As early as 2009, there was rumours of this happening, with teams who were going to break away and start their own version of an F1 series. Now, this was over disputes between the FIA and the Formula 1 Teams Association, or FOTA for short. The breakaway teams is going to include Ferrari, surprised absolutely no one, let's be honest, BMW, Toyota, Renault, Braun GP, Red Bull, and Toro Rosso were all looking to leave Formula 1, and this would leave F1 with McLaren, Force India and Williams. This breakaway series was due to the FIA wanting to impose a cost cap, which is, it's kind of funny how that works because it always seems to be the same things that keep creeping back up every few years. And well, yeah, in 2009 there was going to be a cost cap, and funnily enough that led to a potential breakaway series, which thankfully didn't happen, and we actually got a cost cap in the end, albeit about 11 years later. There was even a provisional calendar for the breakaway series, which would see the FOTA series racing at Buenos Aires, Mexico, Jerez, Portimao, Imola, Monaco, Montreal, Indianapolis, Silverstone, Magny-Cours, the Euro Speedway, Helsinki, Monza, Abu Dhabi, Singapore, Suzuka and Adelaide. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie, that calendar sounds absolutely amazing. Now, obviously this never materialized, but with how popular F1 is right now, this could have more of a reality of actually happening because the teams have a lot more power and a lot more say than they used to have back then. But will this actually happen? Well, in my honest opinion, no, it almost certainly will not happen. There are too many contractual obligations in place between the FIA, F1 and the teams themselves, which are incredibly complex, and it certainly is not something that could ever happen over the space of a year. But it is very interesting to see the clear power struggle right now going on in F1 between the FIA, F1 and the teams themselves. Honestly, I think the current teams have a little bit too much power. With things like the cost cap in place and the popularity of the sport, there is no reason why a new team should be held back by the current teams. If the current teams continue to fight against newer rivals, then that will almost certainly backfire on the current teams, as potential new entries and sponsors may see it as a closed door policy where they just don't want anyone new to join unless they buy up an already existing team. The fight between the FIA and F1 is going to be very interesting, but for me it has to end with the teams allowing new entries such as Andretti to join the sport and let them bring all the potential new sponsors from America. But that's my thoughts. The question is though, what are your thoughts? Let me know down below. Are you excited about this potential argument and power struggle and rivalry that could occur between the FIA and F1? And what do you think the end result will be? Let me know down below, and as always, comment, leave a like and subscribe for more F1 content. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. Bye.